Hello and welcome to my shop. Today I show you how I repair this. Well, this is actually a low price segment air compressor, and it's sold at well, Home Depot, or what you call these over here in Germany. And well, I guess it's sold all over Europe as well. And these compressors are in the, well, as I said, low price segment of compressors. This compressor here is actually 10 years old, and it didn't work anymore. And I found out that the membrane inside here, inside the switch, is broken. I disassembled that one before, so I tried to find someone who is able to purchase some, well, to sell some spare parts, but I couldn't. So I only found the manufacturer of that. As the manufacturer is not selling to people like me, but only to the Home Depot, I thought, okay, he won't talk to me at all. With my experience of the manufacturer of my lathe lately, I thought, okay, this wouldn't be any chance, but nevertheless I found a telephone number and called them up. And I got a guy on the phone who had been from the technical department of the manufacturer here, and I told him my problem. I said, okay, it's 10 years old and I don't get any spare parts for it, and I know what is broken. And this guy said, okay, normally this part here is about 60 bucks, 60 euros in order to replace, but I can send you one of these membranes, and I'll do that. Just send me an email. So I sent them an email and say, okay, thank you very much for sending this to me. And actually, well, while the post is on strike, this had been in the mail almost next day. And this is the membrane I'm looking for. Best thing on that one, it says free of charge. So they sent me this free of charge. What did I do next? I said, okay, I have to say thank you. And I phoned them up and I tried to speak to the guy I had been talking to before, and he wasn't in the company at the moment. But the guy on the phone said, okay, I'm able to divert the phone over to the managing director of the company. And I had been wondering, okay, a managing director wants to speak with a guy like me, okay, so let's go ahead. And I had quite an interesting interview with the managing director. I had I couldn't record that, but I'll give you a review of what he told me, why this had been sent free of charge to me, and about the policy of the company. And I guess this is a policy, I think, like everyone would say, this is customer's care made in Germany, as I'm used to with customer's care. Okay, so let me disassemble this and I'll give you an overview of what I talked to this man on the phone. Okay, let's go for the safety rules first. you have to ensure that this is not under pressure at all. Okay, I disassembled the regulator here, so it isn't under pressure. But if you start disassembling something like this, you have to, well, underneath here, somewhere on every compressor, there is a valve which is for draining the water which comes up inside this pressure tank during the time. And you just open this this valve and leave it open. Leave it open all the time until you assembled everything back, because then you ensure that this is not under pressure at all. Second of all, disconnected from the power supply. Okay, I couldn't have sent it here. So this is only for safety reasons. And now I go ahead and disassemble this thingy, and as I've done it before, this goes pretty easy. Just ensure to have a clean working space with no dust around, which might interfere afterwards while assembling this back. And just remind where the pieces come from. Okay, this is the thingy I just disassembled, and as you've seen, it got a hole in here. Actually, it built up pressure, but on a certain amount of pressure it started blowing out on the side. And this is the replacement part they sent to me. Actually, the guy who sent it to me apologized for sending me a used one, as this one had been inside, I don't know where, before, but nevertheless, this looks like brand new to me. So the next thing to do is clean up the surface here, and as well as the surface in here where this membrane will sit in, and I'll have to ensure that this surface isn't breaking the new thingy here again. Okay, so let me do this, and then we are back to reassembling. Okay, to finish this up, I'm using 400 grit sandpaper, and just by hand, don't use any tools on that. Just get a nice and smooth surface, almost shining. Well, this is aluminium cast material, so you want to get rid of all the aluminium oxide which is on here. Well, actually this stuff builds up over the year, and aluminium oxide is the stuff actually used on sandpaper sometimes, which is pretty hard and pretty rough to anything else. So this will seat on here, but first of all I just wash this off with some alcohol. Same over here, there's nothing, as this is plastic, there's nothing which can go, well, oxidize, and I just wash this off with some alcohol and let this evaporate. And when this is done, I can reassemble this whole thing. I guess now you like to know what the interview with Mr. Klaus Wiesner, the managing director of ROWI and also son of the founder of the company, brought to light to me. One thing you have to have in mind is that I'm actually not the customer of the company, but I'm a customer of a Home Depot or a hardware store, as you call it. So in a way, Home Depot and hardware stores are the customers of the company ROWI and not the end user like I am. So the reason why I phoned them up was to say thank you to Mr. Bullinger, who sent me this spare part. But I was connected to the managing director, Mr. Klaus Wiesner from ROWI. I talked to him, and as he asked me why I'm phoning, I mentioned that I would like to say thank you for the great support they gave me. And then I said, well, I don't want to get Mr. Bullinger into trouble, but he sent this for free. Then something came up which surprised me most. Mr. Wiesner said, okay, the policy of our company is when we can handle a problem easy and, not that cost intensive, we'll do it without bureaucracy, and we like to help everyone out who get problems with our products. Okay, now that everything is sealed and there is no leakage at all, I can go ahead and do a test run, and I just ensure that it switches on and switches off at the appropriate pressures, and the pressure output I can control. That's the one which runs into my shop, and I set this to about 4 bar, and in this way I have enough pressure over here, as you might see when I don't do this onto your face, but this is that's enough for blowing out some sawdust or the work I'm using it for here in the shop. When I'm going for doing some airbrush, I even reduce this more with a separate one, which is connected then somewhere around here, and I guess I'll show you this when it comes to doing some airbrush to my projects. Okay, now just try to check it out, and I just get the pressure down, but first I want to have this camera on here and you'll see what happens. Okay, I'm getting the pressure on. Okay, so it stops where it should stop. Now just the last test is this security valve here, and it should go now with full pressure on. It should release very easy now, and I'm just, that's it. That's the way it should work. It should blow up every overpressure inside, and it closes by itself. So this thingy here is working, all the others are working, and I'm just trying to get my, where's the other pressure reducing thingy. So I might check on the on these clocks here. Okay, can't find it at the moment. But okay, I just switch that off, get the pressure off, and move it over to the room where I have it, because I don't have it inside my shop here. It's too noisy, and I've run a hose over here into the shop where I can use the pressured air for whatever I want to use it for. So thank you very much for being with me while I repaired this air compressor. And as I said, it's not the brand name or wherever you got it from. It's well, it's about how you can trust the one who is actually selling, well, not selling, but building this. And I have to thank the guys at YOU for sending me this, and especially the managing director for teaching me the lesson that there is still some customer's care made in Germany. And I hope a lot of you are getting encouraged to, well, ask for advice or even spare parts. As I mentioned before, the policy of the company here, and you can't expect, well, give me something for free, as Peter also gets something for free. This had been just a coincidence that the guy at the service department had this spare part for me, well, used, laying around, and in this way, well, I saved about, as he said, this whole thing here is about 60 euros. So this is actually what I saved. If he wouldn't have this thing laying around, well, he would have to send me this one, and they would have charged for that. But I'm pretty happy that I could manage to get this back to work, and now let's get it out of here and do some woodworking again. With that said, it's up to my next project with greetings from good old Germany, your Peter Freitag. Thank God it's Friday.